Having created the basic form for the head of our mini bolt here, what we want to do in this video is create the chamfered extrusion that will create the drive hole, as well as clean up parts of the topology that we end up creating. To do that, with our screw head selected, let's come into Edge Subobject mode, and then in the top viewport, press the Alt and W keys in order to maximize the view. We want to select the cross-section of edges in the center of the geometry here, making sure that we stop where the screw head starts to really fall away from the sides. So we may need to jump back to the perspective view in order to check that. In the Edges panel, let's shift-click on the chamfer tool and then right-click to zero out the chamfer size. Then we can increase the value until we have something that looks good, in my case, to around about 0.25 centimeters. Now we could go ahead and turn on the quad chamfer option, but because this will create more polygons than we really need, and because this is a course on hard surface modeling, I'm going to take a look at how we can go about handling this situation manually. And so, let's go back to using just the standard chamfer type here, and click OK. Now you will immediately notice that this has created both n-gons and tries at the end of each arm of the crosshair. And so let's come to the Edit panel in the ribbon, choosing the Cut tool, and set about turning our n-gons here into quads, which we can do by basically cutting from our corner vertex here to the middle of this edge on our try, which, as you can see, now turns this n-gon into two quads. And we of course need to repeat this procedure for each of the 8 n-gons that we have. With that done, let's again jump into the top viewport, enter Vertex Subobject mode, and focusing on just one of the sections that we've cleaned up, select the 2 vertices that we added to the middle of the edges here, which did turn this into an n-gon. But in the Edit panel, let's make sure that Constrain to Edge is turned on, as we don't want to create any odd lumps or bumps in our screw head. And if we then hit the R key and scale the vertices out a little, we can come to the Loops panel and connect them, and again do the same for each of the sections that we have here. Now this does of course leave us with yet more tries, but the n-gons are gone, which, as I've said a few times, are the more likely candidates to cause any real problems on a hard surface model. Okay. Let's select all of the interior polygons on our cross-section here by coming into Polygon Subobject mode and using the Control key to click and multiple select. Coming to the Polygon panel, let's shift-click on the Bevel tool and then right-click to zero out the outline and height values. Let's set the height to minus 0.07 centimeters and the outline to minus 0.05 centimeters. Click Apply. And then push the selection right the way in, going as low as we want, really. So for me, about minus 0.3 centimeters, again with an outline of minus 0.05 centimeters, after which we can click OK. If we come out of Subobject mode now and apply an Open Subdiv modifier, setting it to a value of 2 iterations, press F4, well, we can see that we have created our screw or mini bolt head. Obviously, we will want to make some changes to the creasing here, and so let's move on to our next exercise so that we can take care of that.